Okay, you can start off with a description of this new thing that came in the mail today. That would be good.
Okay. All right. Wow. What's this? This is a 4. So why don't you make sure you're running.
It says live. No one's jumped on yet.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. So okay. So I just got this new. I'm trying out this new pencil. Just got this new pencil today at in my art supplies, and this is fantastic. It looks like graphite. It's called Graphitone.
Hold it up, Mary Byram, so we can see it. This
Okay.
is Mary Byram, by the way. She's out in her studio.
Hey everybody.
She's just diving right into it because she's excited because she got a shipment today from Dick Blick. A big box of stuff. Wasn't that big?
Well,
big.
Substantial enough. So one
Put
of the
that
things
over in front of here so people can see what it is. Oh. All right.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, I'm teaching a lot of classes and I'm trying a lot of different materials out and tools because I'm looking for easy ways to do things, and I'm doing classes on location. So I'm doing plein air classes, and one of the things I'm trying to find is stuff that's really easy to work with. And we're outdoors in all kinds of weather. So it's winter. I'm in Maine. We're up here in Maine. I'm in Maine. It's cold, and you want to be able to do things in your car if it's really, like, for some people, they don't have the gear, so they want to be able to get into their car if it gets really ridiculous, and maybe if it's precipitating or something. So we're outside looking at the most amazing things, beautiful places, and it's snowing or it's raining or it's icing or whatever, and so we're trying to make sure that I have some nice stuff that I can use in the car and that's not going to make a mess in the car. So I was
What came in the box today, Mary?
So what came in the box today was one of the things.
How did you find out about it?
Okay, I found out about it through a friend of mine, Jen, who was using this, and she said, "Oh, I found this nice pencil."
It's called
it's Graphitone. So it's a wash. It's a wash, and they basically are they're like regular pencils. They act like gray pencils.
There you have it.
But they have light wash, and so they're water soluble.
It's one solid.
Very dark wash. So
one solid cylinder of graphite. It looks like.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
There's no wood to be had. Look at that.
No, there's no wood.
This is amazing. So what does it do? Show us.
Okay, so this is really nice. So I have a sketch in my sketchbook that I did, and what I did was
This is an old sketch.
This is an old sketch. I did it when people were at the beach in September, and I'm
rotate my phone. Sorry.
I'm in a big rush. I'm in a big rush over there, and all I had was my ink. So I did my sketch with my ink, which is pretty normal for me. I'll do a sketch in ink, and then I grabbed a pencil, a regular graphite pencil, and I shaded it in. So that's what I've got. I have these sketchbooks with, shaded in with pencil, right? All shaded in with pencil. This is just regular pencil. So what I decided to do is I decided to try out this new Graphitone and see what it did. So I put it over the pencil area, and this stuff is amazing. So I literally can go in with a water brush and get this whole nice effect, this very painterly effect, instead of the whole pencil match, the whole pencil line thing, and it shades in everything. I can shade in everything. So and instead of using pencils in the future, I will skip the pencil completely, and I will use these because these are phenomenal. Because I can then go in and put a wash in, and they look great. I mean, there's a really nice feeling to it. And I'll show you my pen and ink washes, which are a totally different thing. And I'll show you how I do them. So that's nice to be able to put a wash in like that. And then when I do them just straight with this pencil, I won't even have any marks, which, the pencil marks are not something I like. I prefer a smoother look, interestingly enough. It's just a matter of preference. Some people love pencil, and they just love sketching with pencil. I prefer to sketch with ink than I do pencil. So my sketches are with ink. I sketch with ink. So I'll show you. I'll go through a couple of these. So, for example, this is a sketch. This is an ink sketch.
I have to figure out how this phone's going to film this without flipping out. Let me come around this way.
Okay.
You step on the other side.
Okay.
Okay, we're good.
Okay. So what these are ink sketches, and I do these ink sketches with this.
Hold that up to the camera so folks can see.
It's a Japanese pen. It's a Sailor, and it's a great pen. It's a calligraphy pen, so it has a special nib on it, and I'll show you how this works. Let me just get a page here. But this is the ink in this pen. It's fugitive ink. I make sure I have fugitive ink in the pen so that I can go in with a water brush and move it around and get shadows just from the ink, as opposed to, and that's a Tombow. Okay, here's an example of it. This is fugitive ink. So I go in with the fugitive ink, and then I'll show you this is like, this is again this pen, and then I'm using this brush.
What type of brush is that, Mary Byron?
This is a water brush, and
how does a water brush work?
Here's more water brush. Here's more. This is all.
Ooh, I like that one. Show me that church again.
Okay. So this is all done. This was all done with this pen. This is the pen, and this is the brush. Okay. So I'll show you. I'll actually do one, and this is basically more quick ones with pen. With the pen and the brush. And I'm just going through and like really, pen and brush. This is gouache. And these are my sketches, and this is what I do for sketching. This is great. I'm gonna be able to do that with that brush. So just to give you an example. So I'll give you an example of how this works. I'll show you. So let's see.
Why do you draw a little box, Mary Byron?
Because I'm framing it.
Yeah, it's a little frame right on the sketchbook.
Yeah, I'm framing it. I'm going to go frame it. Now, this is like simple. I'm just doing some simple shapes. And I'm just going to show you the simple shapes and how the ink works. So.
Are you making this up from your imagination?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm making this up from my imagination because this is the kind of scene I'll see scenes like this.
What sort of pen is it? Asked Rod.
Okay, the pen that this is.
Again.
Oh, let me take one without the tape on it. I have the tape on this one because it's telling me what kind of ink I have in it. I have two of them that are exactly alike. So this is the pen. It's a Fude. It's a Fude Sailor, and it is a 45-degree angle nib, which has a very specific angle on this nib. So I can flip it and roll it. It's a calligraphy pen, and I can flip it and get a really skinny line. Or I can use it. I just drew this one with a really wide line, and I'll show you the skinny line. Here's the difference. There's the skinny line. There's the wide line. So that's me just putting down what I need.
Is that Fude written on that pen? I can't even.
Yeah, it's in Japanese. It's in Japanese.
Oh, no wonder it doesn't make sense.
It's in Japanese right here.
Japanese. It says Fude. What does CDE mean?
I don't know. I don't know what it means, but it's the Sailor in Japan, and it's a Fude Sailor, and that's. I mean, I found it by doing
Fude, that. F-U-D-E.
Yeah, F-U-D-E with an accent.
Fude.
Yeah, and this is all in Japanese, so I have no idea. It looks like CDE, but I don't know.
It's a Fude Sailor fountain pen, calligraphy pen.
Calligraphy. It's a calligraphy pen, and it's really great pen. This is fantastic. I love this pen. It's one of my favorite pens. It's
highly recommended, folks.
It's my go-to pen.
Go-to pen.
Yeah, it's go-to.
There it is,
so
right
okay,
in your hand.
so I'm going to show you why I like this pen so much and why it works fantastically. And see, I'm using it wide. So if I press down, it'll give me a super wide line. If I roll it, if I flip it and roll it, I get a really narrow line. So I can go both ways with it. All right, and it's fantastic. It's so that's why I like it. I use it in my sketchbooks all the time because I can get certain results. Okay, so let me just show you what I do. So I'm trying to, it's like, so I'm trying. So I have I have the Fude in one hand and I have the water brush in my other hand. I am left-handed, so I'm going to have my dominant hand with the ink pen, and I'm going to have my non-dominant hand with the water brush, because I won't need to I won't need as much control with it. So with this, I'm gonna put in some lines and some dark rocks, and I'm just going to take the water brush. And this is the ink. This is how this ink, this fugitive ink works when it's fresh on the page. And I'll actually, oops, I'm going to switch hands here. And when it's fresh on the page, and then I'm going to go in, and you see I've picked up some ink by doing the first, and there's my rocks below. Okay, so for example, I'm trying to make sure I don't pick up too much. See how much I've got on my brush. And then I can go in and I can put in the ink literally with the pen, and I'm as you notice, I switched hands. I put the pen on my non-dominant hand, and I'm going back and forth with the pen and the brush. And all I want to do is, and if I go up to the line, I can go up to the edge of the line, any line I have, any line in there, and I can pick up ink from the line that I've already made and bring it into the picture. So you can see what I did for that. I barely needed to put add any ink in at all in order to get it as dark as I wanted. So that's just to show you how, and I'm just picking up a little bit of ink. It's just to show you how it works. It's fantastic with the whole the ease of how great this is, because it's got, it's just this pen and just this brush, and I can just go right ahead and like basically do anything I want and get any level of interaction I want. So let me show you. Here are some that have dried. Okay, and this is what I'm using. I'm using the ink pen here. I've sketched this in. I was watching some people hanging out and smoking cigarettes and looking at their phones, and I just put in really thin lines, and then I just washed in with a water brush. And then again, looking at a building with shadows. This is this brush used with it turned, the pen used with it turned, flipped, so I can get the fine lines, and then I went in and washed it with the water brush. And
hey, what's on the next page?
Next page is that's a gouache.
That's pretty recent, isn't it?
I was out the other day, and this is
from Monday, isn't it?
This is Monday, and this was done with this pen. Okay, this pen and gouache. And what I did, gouache, Gouache, gouache.
I get it.
Okay, I did it with gouache, and what I did was I used this pen. Okay, I drew it with this pen, fine point, rolled so it was fine. And I waited for it to set up, and then I didn't move the ink around like I have been showing you, here and here. I mean, here and the other ones. I didn't move the ink around. What I did instead was I let it set up a little bit, and then I went in with the color, and I put the color in right away. So I was doing I was using gouache for that.
So a little flash of color on the next page. I had to see what it was.
Flash of color. I know. So yeah. So the ink, the ink can be really, you can do their sketches, and you can add the ink in. It can be really simple. I started this one, I haven't finished it. You can see how adding the ink in the shadows and letting just, getting those shapes in so you know what's going on. Really basic stuff, and it's really nice because it's fast. So, and this one got all little funny marks in it because it started to rain, driving rain actually. Driving rain, and it started to scatter the ink on the page. I was sketching, and it scattered the ink on the page because the rain was driving in so fast. Okay, so that's a quick sample.
Mary Barham, thanks for sharing. Anything else you want to tell us about what's been going on lately in the studio? What kinds of paintings have you've been working on?
Well, what's been going on is I'm outdoors. I'm not in the studio. I'm actually outside all the time now, and I've been having a really good time, like a really great time.
What types of things you've been working on?
I've been working on a series of really tiny paintings, and I'm painting. I'm doing the Strata Easel competition, so I'm like
Strata Easel competition. What is that?
It's a competition the Strata Easel holds every year, I think. I'm not sure. I'm doing it because I thought it might be fun. You might possibly win an easel, but I sort of doubt it. But they give away an easel to 5 people that do it for 30 days. So I go out and set up and paint. It's really
this
nice
is typical of the time when you're out there. Today we're kind of blowing it. I mean, look at that.
It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Oh, help. I wish I was out there. Yeah, so
show me what you did the other day
so
on a similar day.
Yeah, so on a similar day, the other day I did this. And this was all really, these are 5-minute paintings, maybe 5-minute paintings, oils. And I was just doing them really, really fast on location just to capture what was happening. And, it was really quick stuff. And then the next day I did this one. This was precipitating. It was actually snowing.
Hey, that's right out the back window. Let's go take a look.
There was a view out the back window, which you can, the back window of my studio, actually.
Get kind of dark, as you can see.
Yeah, it's moving that direction.
Well, anyway, there is. You can't see because of the reflections. I might turn off the lights for a minute.
Want to see? Okay, let me see.
So you can see that barn over there. There is see that red barn, people? There's a red barn. Okay, lights on again.
Lights on again. So
I'm going to bring them back over here.
I'm basically...
There it is.
I'm basically going to be showing...
And it was raining yesterday, too.
I have a lot of paintings, but they're really super wet. I have a stack of them down here. They're super wet, though. I can't pick them up. So the other thing that's going on is that I'm going to be posting videos. If you sign up to my newsletter, you'll be able to get videos that'll show you me doing actual things. I'm going to be videoing outside, working on paintings outside. I'm going to be setting up and showing how to set up. I'm going to be doing sketchbooking because I do the sketchbooks before I set up to paint. This is like the fun time. I start sketching and just get myself in a groove basically to work on the landscape.
Yeah, so check Mary's website out. It's in her in her bio. And if you want to follow along, get some freebie instruction videos, little demos, please sign up for the newsletter and we'll let you know when they're coming out. Hey, I got to show you people. I got to show you this. Turn off the lights again, Mary.
Turn off the lights. What's happening? Is it getting really nice? Yeah, it's getting really nice.
That's a Mary Barham type of scene right out there. Anyway.
So thanks for stopping by. And I will be doing things, posting stuff on YouTube and posting stuff on my website. And you'll be able to see things there if you go there, or if you sign up to the newsletter, you'll get stuff too, which is a good thing and fun thing. So I hope you're having a great time, and thanks for coming by, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.